I remember all the way back when Forspoken was first announced, and I was genuinely excited for it. The team behind Final Fantasy XV, Luminous Productions, would be getting their chance at yet another AAA open-world action RPG, free of the tremendously troubled development cycle that was Final Fantasy Versus 13. I was very excited to see what they could do. I want to make it clear that traditionally, I've been on the supporter side of this game throughout its development. I am absolutely not a hater of this one, but some recent news has suggested that this game might have a very troubled launch. Gonna want to hit that subscribe button and buckle in for this one because things aren't looking too good for Square with this game at the moment. As of the recording of this video, the game is just 4 days away from release. Normally, whenever you review games, content creators, journalists who work for sites like IGN, Kotaku, etc., usually they get their codes weeks in advance. This allows journalists and content creators to get their hands on the game, play it to the fullest, and give the most accurate review possible. Typically, although not always, though there is a very strong correlation, whenever a publisher is extremely confident in a game, they tend to send their review codes out fairly early as they're quite sure that it will generate positive reviews. They also usually won't put the embargo for the game on the game's launch day, as they would generally want those good reviews out there, generating buzz, telling people that the game is amazing. On the flip side, when a publisher is not confident in their product, they will push the embargo back as far as humanly possible, which is the game's actual release date. This is so that bad reviews don't encourage people to cancel their pre-orders. But in the case of Forspoken, not only is the review embargo pushed back to the very last minute, many content creators and journalists have still not received their codes yet, meaning that they will not have a day one review. Andy Robinson of VGC saying, quote, "It looks like VGC sadly won't be publishing a Forspoken review on Monday, since Square Enix has decided not to supply us with code. That's an extremely rare occurrence for us, so read into it how you like." Even a super major content creator like SkillUp, possibly one of the biggest independent reviewers on YouTube, saying, "Have now heard from or about 7 major outlets/reviewers who did not get review codes for this. As always, no outlet is entitled to a code, but this limited code is a huge red flag. But I also haven't heard of any outlet having access to the PC code yet, but can't confirm this." I very much agree with SkillUp here that the math just isn't mathin'. We've seen this before and we know why it tends to happen. If you know a game is going to review bad, and many publications aren't going to get the game on time in order to provide a review at release dates, do you see where I'm going with this? It's not uncommon either. This has been done before by many games, and as I mentioned previously, it's usually done for a very specific marketing reason. The last major game to do this was the Callisto Protocol, a game that maybe some of you subjectively enjoyed, but one that it seems that the vast majority of the internet absolutely did not, with the game receiving pretty mixed reviews and a ton of internet backlash. Then there are also potential tech issues that are happening with this game, on PC but also seemingly PS5. To play this game on Ultra, you need an RTX 480. Now, some of you who aren't into PC hardware may think, well, what's wrong with that? You need a new graphics card to play the new game. But to require a 4080 to play the game on Ultra is absurd. This game was originally supposed to launch in October. The 4080 launched in November. This means that if this game didn't get delayed, there would not be a graphics card on the market that would be capable of running it on Ultra. This suggests that the game is so poorly optimized that that's why the specs are inflated to be what they are. And if you still don't quite understand what I'm saying here, the recommended graphics card is a 3070, and that's for 1440p 30 frames per second. Now I know you PS5 owners are thinking, well, that's for the PC scrubs. But actually, if you run this game in performance mode, the resolution can dip as low as 720p. This seems to suggest that PS5 users won't be getting off easy either. All of these things suggest that Forspoken is going to have an incredibly rough time on its launch. I honestly would like to see this game do well, but there are so many things going against it, which I honestly tried, but I just could not not get into the demo of this game. I really am hoping that the final release will prove me wrong. I am hoping that I'll play it and it'll be phenomenal, but right now, things are not looking too hot for Forspoken. Shout out to patron Tyler Erickson and the rest of the Ultima community.